Hey guys, and welcome back to a new tutorial for our DIY shaker magnets. This is a single magnet and it's going to be a fishbowl shaker magnet. Here is everything that's going to be inside of your DIY kit. You have your foam tape, your glitter spoon, and your glue bottle. Once you take your magnet off of the backing paper, you're going to notice that it's got its own set of glitter on the inside. All of the fish on the inside are random for all of the magnets, so none of them will ever be the same. As always, we're going to go ahead and start off with our magnet backing and our back piece of paper. We're going to peel the top layer off of the magnet sheet and bend it over just a little bit. Now we're going to take our bottom piece and center it on the magnet backing. Once you have it centered, you'll press down on the piece that is sticky still, and then you'll peel up the back to release the rest of the paper. Smooth that out and make sure everything is all nice and stuck. Now we're going to go ahead and grab our next layer, which is this light piece of blue paper. Make sure it's center. Once you flip it over, you're going to glue on the back side, making sure to get the edges. Once you have the edges done, then you can go ahead and put glue all down the middle to make sure everything sticks. Flip this sheet over and then center on the magnet backing. These next two pieces are going to be a brown, tannish, and a darker blue. It's your sand and your water. They are not symmetrical, so you have to make sure that the sides line up correctly before you glue them on. I like to line it up against the bottom first to make sure that everything is good to go before we start gluing. The foam tape is going to go over the sides of these, so you really want to make sure to concentrate the glue on the sides and then just do a couple dots in the middle. So here we're going to do it on the sides, put it in the middle, flip it over, and then stick it on the bottom. The glue won't dry all the way, so it's okay to maneuver it around to make sure that it all fits. Go ahead and grab your water piece, make sure to glue on the sides, and then you can go down the middle just here and there. It's important we do the sides so that the foam tape doesn't pull up and it's got enough to stick to. Flip it over and line it up to your water and make sure everything is pressed down nice and good. Once we're done with that, we're going to let it dry and then work on the top piece. Make sure that it is correctly aligned, and then we're going to take our backing piece off of our acetate, and then we're going to flip over our outline and put glue all over the back. Now that everything is glued together, we're going to go ahead and flip it over and center it on our acetate. Make sure everything is nice and aligned, and I like to put it on my mat so that I can use my finger and flatten it out and make sure everything is adhered correctly. And now we're going to work on the foam tape for our fishbowl. So I'm going to unravel this, and then we're going to start at the top. You'll press down with your left thumb and then kind of pull with your right, making sure to stick it on the magnet as you go. You want to pull the paper when you get to the turn so that the foam tape doesn't roll on you. And then every couple thumb widths, you're going to break the paper a little bit because it's in a curve, and it will help you keep it nice and straight. Once you get close to the edge, we're going to overlap it and cut the overlap with the scissors. This just helps it stay together a little bit better. And now for the super fun part and creative freedom. There's all kinds of fish in here. There's some castle pieces and some leaves. Feel free to use all of it. Feel free to use some of it. It's really at your free will. I like gluing in the castle to make sure it doesn't move around too much. And I'm also going to glue in some leaf pieces, but everything else I'll kind of just let float around. There's not going to be a lot of like glitter in this kit because it kind of takes away from the fish, but the bubbles look pretty cool, so we included a few of those in there. You don't really need a lot of glue for these. You can just put little dabs on there and it'll stick just fine. Here I'm going to start adding in all the little fish. There's all kinds of different colors. There's some rocks, some starfish, and some sand dollars. Just whatever you think looks best. Once you finish with those, we're going to go ahead and grab our bag of glitter. You can pour it straight into the fishbowl, which is what I'm doing right now, or you can use your glitter spoon and kind of scoop it out. There's a lot of static sometimes with these, so you might need the spoon. And then once you have that done, just make sure you shake it flat, and we're going to start taking off the foam tape. Now that our foam tape is off, we're going to go ahead and peel the other side of our acetate paper, protective paper off. Just roll your thumb across until it comes off. If that doesn't work, you can use your nail too. We're going to flip this over and look down from a bird's eye view to put this in the center. And go ahead and stick it on. I like to use my fingers to make sure it's pressed really well onto the foam tape. And when you're done, you have your finished fishbowl magnet. Thank you so much for joining us and making this magnet. I hope you had so much fun. Stay tuned for more kits that we have coming out, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.